Inside the royal fairy tale, Princess Leonor's lavished wedding redefines 2025 bridal style. The cameras flashed. The bells of Madrid rang. Spain held its breath. Everyone expected a royal wedding. But no one expected this. A ceremony so breathtaking it didn't just honor tradition, it redefined it. They called it a fairy tale. But behind every perfect smile, was a story no one saw coming. The world watched as Princess Leonor of Spain walked down the aisle, not just as a future queen, but as a woman stepping into history. Her gown shimmered like sunlight on marble, custom-made by Spain's most elusive designer. Months of secrecy surrounded its creation. Every thread told a story, of legacy, power, and love. But before the dress, before the vows, there was a storm. The Spanish royal house had never faced so much scrutiny. Every choice Leonor made was analyzed, debated, and dissected. Who designed her gown? Would she wear a Spanish crown or something new? Would her wedding mark the modern rebirth of European royalty? From the moment she was born, Princess Leonor carried the weight of a nation on her shoulders. The first Spanish queen to come in generations. The future of the monarchy. Every eye on her, every move documented. And now, in the spring of 2025, the world's gaze turned to her wedding, the day she would unite Spain and Denmark through love. Prince Christian of Denmark, her groom, had grown up in a royal world far more open, far more modern. Together, they were not just a couple, they were a bridge between two royal traditions. His family, understated yet deeply proud. Hers, formal, bound by centuries of Spanish grandeur. The ceremony took place in Madrid's Almudena Cathedral, glowing beneath a sea of white orchids and golden candlelight. Every pew filled with monarchs, presidents, and world icons. Yet amidst all the glitter, the moment was intimate. When Leonor's father, King Felipe VI, took her arm, the crowd fell silent. He whispered something only she could hear, and she smiled. It was the smile of a daughter ready to step into her destiny. Her dress, crafted from layers of handmade silk, with subtle embroidery reflecting the coat of arms of Spain, symbolized unity. Critics called it the rebirth of royal style. Fashion houses across Europe rushed to imitate it. The veil, nearly 20 feet long, carried lace patterns inspired by Spanish cathedrals. But what caught the world's attention most was the crown, or rather, the lack of one. Leonor chose not to wear a traditional tiara. Instead, she adorned her hair with delicate diamond pins gifted by her late great-grandmother, Queen Sofia. A choice both bold and deeply personal. It was her statement: elegance does not need approval. As the ceremony unfolded, cameras caught glimpses of emotion, Queen Letizia wiping away tears, Prince Christian nervously glancing at his bride, and Leonor's sister Sofia whispering, "You look like Mama" on her wedding day. That quiet, human moment became one of the most replayed clips of the day. But behind the beauty lay tension. Royal insiders spoke of quiet disagreements between the Spanish and Danish royal protocols. The Spanish court demanded strict formality. The Danes wanted warmth and spontaneity. Even the seating chart became a diplomatic puzzle: which European monarch should sit closer to the couple? The British, the Norwegians, the Swedes. And then came the surprise no one expected: Leonor's speech. Traditionally, royal brides remain silent. But in a powerful, heartfelt moment, she took the microphone. Her voice trembled at first, then grew steady. "I was born a princess," she said, "but today, I choose to be a partner, a woman, and a servant to both our nations." Applause erupted. Even the Danish queen was seen, clapping with tears in her eyes. From that moment, the tone of the wedding changed. It was no longer just an event, it became a statement. A redefinition of what royalty meant in the 21st century. The reception glittered beneath crystal chandeliers in the royal palace of Madrid. Spanish flamenco met Danish waltz. The cuisines merged, Iberian ham alongside Nordic salmon. The cake, towering and ornate, was infused with flavors from both nations. The final tier revealed a golden sugar emblem, two intertwined crowns melting into one. Leonor's second dress stunned the audience, a soft ivory gown with minimalist Danish lines, symbolizing balance between modern and traditional. Social media erupted. Fashion magazines called her the bride who changed European couture. Within hours, replicas of her dresses appeared across luxury stores worldwide. Designers admitted, 2025 belonged to Leonor. But what happened after the cameras turned off? Behind closed doors, whispers filled the palace corridors. Would Leonor and Christian live in Madrid or Copenhagen? Who would yield to whose traditions? Spain feared losing its princess to Denmark. Denmark saw her as the crown jewel of Europe's new generation. Weeks later, the newlyweds released a statement. They would divide their time between both nations, serving as ambassadors of unity. The world saw diplomacy wrapped in romance. But insiders say it was more than symbolism, it was a quiet revolution led by love. Leonor's wedding wasn't merely beautiful, it was transformational. It blended heritage and innovation, duty and emotion. Every photo, every frame, told a deeper story, a young queen rewriting royal womanhood, showing that grace can coexist with power. Fashion critics call it the Leonor effect. Bridal designers across Europe now follow her minimalist elegance, her bold departure from excess. Brides from London to Paris request the Leonor silhouette, refined, structured, yet soft. Magazines declare her the new global fashion icon. Yet through all the praise, Leonor remains grounded. Friends describe her as humble, loyal, and quietly determined. After the reception, she reportedly spent hours thanking every member of her staff by name, a gesture that melted the hearts of those who serve her. And when asked what her favorite moment of the wedding was, she said simply, "When I looked into Christian's eyes and realized, the fairy tale is real." That's the truth behind the crown. Not glitter, not fame, but love, courage, and the quiet power of two hearts defying tradition. As the sun set over Madrid that evening, the bells rang once more. The future queen and her prince stepped out onto the palace balcony, hand in hand. The crowd below roared with pride. Spain, radiant and reborn, celebrated not just a wedding, but a legacy. Inside the royal fairy tale, a new chapter of history had been written. And at its center stood a young woman who proved that even in a world of crowns and protocol, love still reigns supreme.